All right, I've got 2 coins being tossed, and probability A is the event getting 2 tails. A die is rolled, and B is the event getting an even number. So we want to prove that these are independent. Well, probability of A, tossing 2 coins, getting 2 tails, that's 1/4. Probability of B, rolling a die, getting an even number, that's 1/2. So I hope that the probability of getting 2 heads and, getting 2 tails and an even is 1/8. Well, let's think about this in terms of our grid. If I have my coin toss, so I could have heads, 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 tails, tails, heads, tails, tails, and then rolling my die, I could get even numbers or I could get odd numbers. So I could think of my 2, 4, 6. Those are the ones I really care about. So I can see there's 1, 2, 3 ways that this can happen out of 6 times 4 is 24. So my probability of A and B does equal the product of A times B. So they are independent. All right, let's look down here. We've got events A and B. A is 1/2, B is 0.3, A union B is P. So if they're mutually exclusive, then I know that my circles do not intersect. So I'm going to have A and B, and I will have 0.5, 0.3. So probability of A union B is going to be 0.8. If they're independent, now my circles do overlap. And this is another way of thinking about how events can never be mutually exclusive and independent, because for independent they have to overlap, because I have to have an intersection. So now my intersection would be 0.15. So my remaining part of A is 0.35, remaining part of B, 0.15. Sum these together and I get that A union B would have to be 0.65 if they're independent. Let's do one more. So A is 0.2, B is 0.8, and they're independent. Okay, if they're independent, then I know that this has to be 0.2 times 0.8. So that would be 0.16. A union B is then going to be the sum of these two minus the intersection. So I would have 1 minus 0.16 is 0.84. And then A given B, well, since they're independent, A given B is just going to be probability of A, which is 0.2. I could do my formula, but I don't have to, knowing that they're independent.